Hey guys, I am driving from the Big Sky Prairie where Eclipse 2017 International Festival just finished. My friend got me into there, and it was a crazy party. It was just like a crazy 5 days of partying. I drove up there on Thursday. It took 12 hours to get from town, where I stayed the night before, up into the location, the site. There was a bunch of confusion. I think a lot of it had to do with check-in and how check-in was going, and how there was a lot of confusion in putting people, situating people. There was no internet, no phone service where the event was, which caused a lot of mayhem for the first day. When I got there on Thursday, I ended up parking my car at midnight, at like about 12:30, I think, and just passed out in the back of the car. The next day, I set up a tent, and where the tenting was right next to one of the main stages, the Sun stage. So that had non-stop trance music, like trance music, every night, like from 5 p.m. probably, or even earlier, like 2 p.m. until the next day, till like 10 o'clock in the morning, every day. So I decided just to use that as a forward base camp. And I was trying out new things. I tried out my camelback, tried out some warm clothes that I bought for Burning Man. So this was kind of like my Burning Man pre-party. And so the second day so on Friday, I did a lot of walking around, looking at art, getting a lay of the land. Ended up finding some people that I met in line, in that 12-hour line, and hung out with them for a lot of the weekend. So far away from where I was, and just like walked around, got a lay of the land, and ended up passing out at like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. that night. That was Friday. Saturday night, I stayed up all night until 5:30 in the morning. A lot of the same, a lot of music. There's like, most people there were artists that I met, at least. Not in very. It was cool. It was fun to meet people. Would have like super random close interactions, and then they would be gone forever. Yeah, and a lot of beautiful people. Like, most of the people there were just beautiful people. A lot of people doing flow arts. So a lot of fit people. A lot of people were musicians and artists and dancers, and it was an international crowd. I met this French girl, that night. We hung out all night. She was on something. She had so much energy. Oh my god. It was just fun. Really good at dancing. Met a lot of people who were really good at dancing. And just try to attach myself to her and her friends, and listen to a lot of electronic music, a lot of bass, so much bass, yeah, and also the food was super good and pretty cheap. Like, every meal cost about $10, and really good for festival food. not looking forward to Burning Man because there is no food. All the food that I brought was all canned food, and some crackers and stuff, and like Spam and tuna and Slim Jims, some fruit, bananas, apples, and then some canned fruit. Something that I really thought well of myself for was I had a dust mask that I actually used for the first 4 days, which really helped out not getting sick, not getting like a cough or a sneeze or anything like that, which is definitely good because Burning Man is going to be more of the same dust in that kind of environment. I'm going to have a couple days rest right now. Where I'm driving to Lake Tahoe, which was like a 7-hour drive from where I was in Oregon, and then I'm picking up my friend from the Reno airport tomorrow, and we're gonna go and stay in Lake Tahoe. So like that's about an hour. So a lot more driving, so I could use this like timeshare stuff that I have, which has just been like a money trap, like drain on resources. I haven't been too happy with it. I mean, beautiful places, accommodations sometimes, and then I don't know, whatever. So I'm just like a little perturbed about that. But back to Oregon, back to Eclipse 2017. It was basically that. It was basically like me walking around, listening to music, watching art. They had crazy cool like artists, little colonies, like cool places to hang out and sit, and they had like tree houses and little like shacks, and then they had like this thing like these like places to hang out and watch people paint, and it was just a lot of art, a lot of creation, a lot of interaction. It's like everybody, I feel like, had this like rave garb of cool stuff to wear and lights and interact with each other, and I felt pretty good about like being creative, being having a sense of freedom. Cool thing about this place, they had a lake there and you could go swimming. I never went in the lake. I never went swimming because I didn't want to like feel gross after coming out of the lake, which prevented me from going into the lake. I don't know, but there was a lot of people in there. This festival had like 30 to 40,000 people, and I don't know, it was just a lot of beautiful people, it was super fun, and felt pretty connected. Get to do more yoga, I think, because there's so many people that were yoga instructors that were really cool, and that kind of tradition. They also had One Nation was there, so that's the Native American gathering of Native American tribes in North America, which was really special, and that leads into Sunday night, and I stayed up all night Sunday night to see the eclipse the next day. So I took a nap. Like most of my day Friday or Saturday was sleeping to prepare myself, most of my day on Sunday was sleeping to prepare myself for Sunday of staying up all night, listening to music, listening to a lot of live bands that night, and dancing and keeping myself awake, and really like draining my battery all the way, depleting myself, and then taking in the eclipse, which was grand. and I didn't take any photos all those days. I didn't take any photos, which is basically what I do, is take photos. So it was pretty interesting just to be able to experience all that stuff, and being free from that. But also, like, it was really tough. The conditions were tough. I've been wearing boots all week. It was super rocky terrain, really hilly, really rocky. Got a lot of calluses on my feet right now. I think that my feet were pretty sore, and now they're like starting to turn callous from this great time of wearing boots. And it was about 80 to 90 degrees during the day, and at night it was about 40 or in the 50s and 40s. So it was a pretty intense conditions, a pretty intense like shift every day to go and change and make sure you're changed into warmer clothes to experience the night, and trying to stay cool during the day. I didn't not taking a shower. That's why I wanted to go to this go to a hotel so I can shower up and clean all my clothes and go back out into the fray of being surrounded by artists and crazy conditions to like party in the desert, party in a dusty desert. After the eclipse on Monday night, I finally found my friend Andrea Brown, who is the one who got me into the music festival for free, which was awesome. She just saw that I was there on Instagram and got me in to this music festival, and I hung out with her. And that was interesting. It was surreal. Like, everyone there is party, and then she is working. So I got to be around that, and like just being around somebody who gets to work the festival instead of like enjoying the festival is completely different. I mean, she was enjoying it, but she had to coordinate a lot of things, and a lot of hard work was put into this festival that she was directly a part of. So she does artist relations and does a lot of booking for artists, so I got to go in back into the backstage, and I have no idea. I didn't know any of the artists that were going to be there or any of the music. Like, I don't know, I'm pretty disconnected, I guess, in that. So I was probably surrounded by celebrities, but I didn't know that they were celebrities, and I didn't really introduce myself to any of them. I did make some connections, and I think I did pretty good for like this pre-party. A lot of my thought in this was that I know I can't burn out now because I have another week of this. Like, today is Wednesday, and I'm going into Burning Man on Saturday. So I have a few days to prepare. I'm picking up my friend from Reno tomorrow afternoon. So that's why I needed to leave a little bit early to make sure that I could get him, and then we get to like prep the last kind of preparation to go to Burning Man. So we gotta get bicycles and make sure all of our stuff is clean, and get a bunch of water, and get a bunch of food, and do 5 days of camping in the desert. Hopefully I'll like relax. I was pretty, I think, uptight the first few days, and I really started getting into relaxing and being able to enjoy things. I got trapped in like running around and trying to re-meet people. Like, I would meet people, and then I would try to like coordinate with them to reorganize and go out. And on the last couple of days, I didn't do that as much, and I felt a lot more comfortable just being like, I feel like I want some of this right now, and I would go and do music, or I would go and look at art, or I'd go and talk to people. And it was a lot easier than being with a group of people, because being with a group of people, it's like somebody has to pee every time you fucking move, or somebody wants to see this, or somebody wants to do that, and it's constantly moving the group around, where I just wanted to sit and like enjoy one thing at a time. Like I want to enjoy a full set, or I want to enjoy like an artist painting or a person talking, instead of like jumping in on something and like moving because somebody didn't like it. So that's kind of what I'm up to in Burning Man. I'm gonna have a bigger core of people. Obviously I'm picking up my friend, and I'm gonna be with a camp, so that's gonna be a lot different experience than being like a lone wolf and trying to get that community and connection. Hopefully I'll be able to have it when I want it, and then be able to leave it when I don't. And being able to kind of get myself to the point of burning myself out, of getting to the point of going 100% in the last couple of days, of really like pushing myself to just be completely kind of done. Because after Burning Man, I'm gonna go like almost a week after Burning Man, I think I'm going to LA. So I have like a week of recovery where I'm going to be in Yellowstone, or I'm going to be in Yosemite National Park for a while, and just soaking up nature afterwards. So I'm really looking forward to thinking about that. I know it's like, it's just tricky being in the moment, and also being in the moment and not preparing myself to be in the next moment. Like the next thing I'm doing is this. And that's going to be super stressful, so I shouldn't stress all the way. Like, I don't know. It's like that thing in... doesn't matter. So the eclipse happened, and that was cool. I cried. I was there, and there was Native Americans speaking about the water and our national resources, and remembering that I'm a part of the planet, and that this is where I get to be right now in my life, and like be connected to the earth, and realize that, you know, the sun provides so much life and energy, and so much, provides so much, and that the moon covering up the sun was like the feminine moving in and covering up the masculine of the sun, and to let that in, and let that Mother Earth and that nature in, and letting that, reminding yourself that you're a part of that, and that you're a part of the planet, and that we get to take care of the planet, and live respectively, and like to be there and be in that mode. So that was beautiful. That experience was beautiful. I mean, it was so crazy. It's like the sun gets covered up, and you just have this the horizon turns into a sunset. It turned into like this pink sunset all around me, and I was trying to like look at that, and then and remind myself that like I might never see an eclipse again, and that this is, it could be a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I really should be diligent in looking at it, and like, and taking in the awe of this like amazing celestial event that I got to witness. So that was awesome. Then I slept all day, because I was up until 11 a.m. Then I slept until like 7 or 8, and yeah, then I hung out with my friend, and it was surreal. And then I slept, woke up, and proceeded to hang out, and had like a chill day on Monday, or on Tuesday, and and decided to pack up all my stuff on Tuesday. Packed up my tent, packed everything back into my car, went out actually in this shirt, and packed like some gloves and my scarf, and said the only way I'm gonna get back to my tent is if I, let the weather and my stomach get me back into my car, and once I'm in my car I'll be able to leave. So because at that point I was really comfortable with being in the festival and I didn't really want to leave. Ended up saying bye to some people that I met and got to experience some live music, a lot more live music, which was really fun. And I got to experience so many acrobats and so many flow artists and so many people expressing themselves. I got to take some photos, and that was like my last day was photo day, when everything was super freaking dusty. I don't know, maybe at Burning Man I'll do like the first day will be my photo day while I'm like checking everything out and getting the lay of the land, and then every other day can be no photo day. I might do that this time. Camera probably would have been good first day. So all my photos are like of all these pieces of art that are really dusty, and got some great pictures of artists and stuff, so of music and a little bit of flow art, and it was cool. It was like a neat day. Yeah, and then I left at midnight with no traffic, got back to town, took a nap until 7 a.m. today, and I've just been driving. It's almost 5 o'clock, so since 7 a.m. until now I've been driving all day to get myself to check into this hotel in Lake Tahoe. Just like going through the mountains and stuff, being back in pseudo like civilization, paved roads, actual bathroom and running water, and I get to rest up and get myself in tune with going back in there and just having this like crazy art party. Another 5 days from Sunday to I don't even remember, it's like Sunday to Friday or something like that for Burning Man. I don't know, I'm gonna probably be like one of the last ones out of Burning Man, probably. I'm guessing that's what's gonna happen. I'll be beat, probably. And I'm like so ready for a shower. I haven't been this ready for a shower in a long time. And I am just covered in dust and dirt because it's sweat and dust, and I don't know. So yeah, that's what I got to do over the last week, is had this really cool experience in nature and surrounded by artists, and seeing like what people can create and what nature creates, and being in awe of beauty and seeing different kinds of things, and what motivates me in my life, and getting regrounded on like a personal philosophy that works for me is to tune myself to be able to experience life to the fullest. And a lot of my experience there was like appeasing people or trying to find people who liked me, or being afraid of people leaving me, trying to make connections that last. I don't know. It was just such a weird environment to be in, of being able to make a really deep connection and then it would just be gone. And I don't know if I'll ever see them again, right? And what does that mean to me, and like who am I, and getting that like coming into terms with that almost insignificance of my existence, which was like a lot of what the Native Americans were preaching about, the near insignificance, like that you're just this tiny little, not a tiny amount of consciousness, but also it's like a great opportunity to be able to be that consciousness on Earth. It's like be that person that gets to experience life in this way, and like I think it's a good goal to be able to concentrate on a moment instead of like a serial thinking about, like trying to analyze every moment, which is what I tend to do, and being that, having that narrator in your head narrating everything, opposed to taking in beauty in everything that you do, and taking in that you're strong enough to be able to being strong enough to be able to like focus on the present and not worry about the future, and also play this game and like play in the world that you live in, the world that I live in, which is like planet Earth, and participate in that to the best of your ability and play in that game. It's crazy. It's, I don't know, it was good. It was a lot to think about, and I'm really gonna push myself at Burning Man to be really in tune with what's happening and to take in things without worrying about if I'll be able to remember them, but to be able to experience things fully while they happen, instead of trying to document things while they happen and getting like a watered down version of what just happened. Instead of describing everything to myself, being able to experience life all the way. Being able to like to look at everything in every moment as perfection, and to be able to grow from every moment in the path of this like of this ability to experience things fully, and instead of being so scattered, to be able to focus and to be able to appreciate. And even in this moment, I'm talking through this, and I'm driving, and I'm looking at this gorgeous mountain with all these clouds around it, and to experience this moment fully. And am I doing that, or something suffering for focus in other areas? I don't know. So I'm going to bring that with me in this next bout of being subjected to so much art, so much all around you. You know, it's an intense experience, and I'm looking forward to that experience, and I hope you are too, because I get to take videos and to experience Burning Man, and to experience like all of what that has to offer. And yeah, love you guys. Bye.